everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and today I'm coming to you with a product review. Now this product review is probably coming out when many other channels are coming out with a review or pretty much a commercial for this thing. This is the OLight, I guess it's pronounced BaldR, B-A-L-D-R Pro. I was sent this by OLight, but I told them I'm not going to do a commercial like many of the other channels do. My channel is all about giving honest reviews. I know that not everybody can afford the surefire lights like I have on this Glock 19, and they're always looking for other options when it comes to illuminators and lasers for pistols. And I wanted to give you guys my honest opinion. So they sent me this light and laser combo, and I'm gonna try it out. I'm not gonna tell you to buy it. I'm not gonna tell you not to buy it. All I'm gonna do is review it like I do all of the other products that I get into my channel. I will give you my honest opinion, and I will let you guys decide if this is something that you are interested in. I'm also going to compare it with the Surefire X300, and while I still have it, because this is actually part of a Patreon giveaway, this is the ThruNite TW10. So we have a very budget-friendly option, we have a very expensive option, and then we have the OLight, which I think is kind of middle ground. I know a lot of people like these OLights, and I'm kind of curious what the other channels are going to do. So you're probably going to see your feed flooded with a whole bunch of product placements of this light, but I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion. If this thing sucks, I'm going to let you know. But let's adjust the camera. I'm going to unbox this, install it, and compare it to the other lights and let you know what I think. Alright, so here's the box for the OLight BaldR Pro. It says it has a max lumens of 1350 and a throw of 260 meters. The box seems to be pretty nice, what I would expect from OLight. So let's open this up and let's see what's inside. As you can see, I have not even opened this since I got it, so I really don't know what's inside this thing. Alright, I guess I'll just tear open the box here. I always try to keep the boxes in good shape, but that's not going to happen. Alright. So that's how it's packaged here. So let's get the laser and light out. See if there's some instructions. Looks like there is. All right, we got an Allen wrench here. Probably need that for installation and adjusting, I guess, the laser and the light. And of course we get the instructions. But of course, I'm a man. I don't need no user manual. So let's get that out of the way. Let's check this thing out now. Okay, so it says remove the cover before use. All right, that's removed as well. All right, so holding this thing, first and foremost, I gotta say, it actually feels really nice. I like how this thing is constructed. I like the finish a lot. It's very attractive. Obviously, we have the laser here on the bottom. The light there in the front. The bezel looks very nice. On this side, we have, I guess it has a serial number. It says BaldR Pro. Seems to be very, very well constructed. All right. So, looks like we have the tap buttons on the side. It says to pull open right here. There's that. Let's take out the little sleeve for the battery. It does come with batteries apparently. Looks like those are CR321s. Alright, so let's see how bright this thing is when you first activate it. I believe there's a switch here on the bottom. So we have laser, I think light and laser, and light. So let's start off with the light first, see how bright this is. Yep, that is really, really bright. Alright, so then let's go to the laser selector here. Alright, so there's the laser. I like the fact that it is green. Seems to be pretty bright. Alright, and then finally I'll put the switch on both and see what happens. Yep, and I can see the dot. I don't know if it's coming across on the camera or not, but it is definitely there. So before I mount it to the gun, the only issue that I can foresee here is the switch, which goes between the laser, the light, and the light laser combo. That seems a little bit on the chintzy side, okay? That does not feel like the detent is holding that switch in place very well. I can see where that could get switched by accident, just from maybe jostling in a holster, but that's the only issue I would have. It looks like it has a quick detach lever right here. and it has a little bar that says GL, so it is designed for a Glock. They might have an extra one in here for like a 1913 Picatinny rail. Oh yes, right there it is if you want to change that out, but I'm going to be mounting it to this Glock right here. So let's do that now. I will change out the Surefire and install the OLight. All right, so there it is mounted to my Glock 19 Gen 5. I have to say it is on there nice and snug. It was very easy to put on. I didn't need to adjust the quick detach lever. I think it looks very, very attractive. I'm really impressed with the finish, as I mentioned earlier. I think it looks really nice. There's no play in that mounting system. The buttons are really easy to get to, so they're push button, which I may like the activation switch on the Surefire just a little bit more. You can go up and down versus the push button, because I think you might activate those by accident a little bit too easy. But I think this is kind of an industry standard. As I said, it looks really, really nice. So they're easy to actuate there. So there's the light. I want to switch to the laser. There's the laser and both. So I like that. I can switch really well between them. You have the push button, kind of quick on and off. You got the long term on and off. I like that a lot. So from a construction standpoint, I give it high marks. From an installation standpoint, I give it high marks. Seems to be really nice. So let me turn off the lights here in the garage, and I'm going to compare it to the Surefire and the ThruNite TW10. Compare the lights themselves, because neither of these have lasers, so I won't worry about that. But we're going to see what the beams look like, the hot spots, and some of the spill. Alright, so there's the back wall of my garage. And just to remind you guys again, I'm going to compare the OLight BaldR Pro, the Surefire X300U, and the ThruNite TW10. So let me turn off the lights, and we'll go through lowest to highest end when it comes to price, compare and contrast, and see what I think. All right, so the first light we're going to take a look at is the ThruNite TW10. This is another light that was sent to me for review here on the channel, and I really liked how this is more of a floodlight. It doesn't really have a centered hotspot. It's exceptionally bright. It has a lot of spill. It works really nice. Doesn't really generate too much heat at all. So that's the beam on the ThruNite right there. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the OLight BaldR, and there it is. Okay, so that is really bright, and I don't know if this is coming across on camera because I know it does some auto adjustments, but that is really bright. It has a medium-sized hotspot, relatively big, and a lot of spill. Looking around the garage here, it's really lighting up everything behind me and to the side. So it has a lot of light going in all directions, but it is relatively centered. I like that a lot. I've also noticed from just handling this, this gets really hot, which is something that I would expect from a light that has over 1300 lumens. So there's that. And now we're going to take a look at the Surefire X300. And there's the X300. Now that is supposed to be 1000 lumens, and it definitely is not as bright. I have to say the OLight is definitely brighter, and I do like the centered hotspot a little bit more. This does not light up the garage like the OLight. And to be very honest with you guys, this was not really the result I was expecting. Normally I go into these reviews with a little bit of bias. I fully admit that because I like certain brands. And I was expecting to really think the Surefire was going to beat both of these out. After all, this is a very expensive light. It's still really nice, and I think it's kind of a go to hell and back light. But I think the OLight might be a little bit better. So let me turn this one back off and go back to the OLight again. That light is definitely a lot brighter and is more white. I can see all of the colors a little bit better than I can with the Surefire. So I'm really impressed with that. I'm going to switch it back over to the laser, just see what that looks like. And there it is. I do like that green laser. It's very bright, and actually here in the garage I can see the beam all the way across the garage. That is really nice and really high quality. So once again, just handling this thing, I think the biggest issue I have is just how hot it gets, but that's just gonna be the nature of the beast. So that's a compare and contrast of 3 different weapons lights. So let me adjust the camera and I'll give you guys my final thoughts. All right, so what is my final thoughts on the OLight BaldR Pro? Well, fit, finish, and function, I honestly have to give this thing 5 stars. And I'm not lying when I say it looks really attractive and seems to be well built. In some ways, I like it better than the Surefire, just the way it mounts, the way it looks, the way it's constructed. I think this is well designed, obviously made for a Glock, and the dimensions of a Glock. You could definitely mount this onto other platforms and probably a rifle with some Picatinny rail on it, but it's definitely made for a Glock. When it comes to its use, I gotta say the beam is really nice. The laser, of course, works like it should. It's a green laser. That's really neat. I like that because, you know, most of the time lasers are red. The fact that it has 2 batteries in it, very common batteries, is going to give it a lot of power and a lot of lifetime use. And of course, the batteries are easy to replace. Now, the 2 issues that I seem to have with this is the switch to go between the laser, the light, and the combo. Seems to be just a little bit chintzy, and there doesn't seem to be a very strong detent keeping that lever in place depending on what you have selected. But just carrying it around here in the garage, I don't seem to have an issue with it so far, but as I said, maybe in a purse or a holster, that might switch from the setting that you want it to be on. And the other issue is this thing gets exceptionally hot. After I just filmed that portion where I showed you the different beams here in the garage, I put this down and I put my finger on it. It is still pretty darn warm. It's a very bright beam with lots of lumens. That could be my only issue with it. I don't know how that would affect it if you constantly used it and those batteries got really hot, but for short periods of time, I'm sure it's fine. I would definitely watch touching anything with the end here with the bezel, especially touching it maybe while it's been on for a while. You might actually burn yourself. So there you go. So overall, fit, finish, function, 5 out of 5 stars. When it comes to the performance, I have to give it, well, I'm thinking about here. I do have a couple issues, and I'm gonna be very honest about this. I gotta give it 3.75 stars out of 5. Still really, really, really good. The light is super bright, but darn does it get hot. I think the overall star rating on this thing is going to be, I'm actually going to give it 4.5 stars out of 5, just because it seems to be so well built. Now, it's definitely more expensive than some of the other Chinese options, you know, like the Through Nights, but it's not as expensive as the Surefire. It's less than half the price. I actually think you get a lot of light and a lot of laser for this price point. It might be a little bit more than some people are willing to pay, but OLights seem to be relatively popular in the flashlight EDC world, so you're not getting something that is junk. It's definitely high quality, and I think a relatively good value. Now, this might not be the one for you, and as I said, this is not a commercial for OLight, so who knows, they may never send me anything else again, and that's okay. But I did tell them I would give an honest review. This is not just a product placement. This isn't just go out and buy this, go get this code and use this, because all I got for free was this light right here. That's it. They said try it out, and I said I'm going to review it and give my honest opinions, because hopefully that's what you guys expect from me. So overall, 4.5 stars out of 5. Would I personally buy one of these? Yeah, probably I would. I don't think I'd be rushing out to get it. If I could get a Surefire, you know, if I had that type of money, which I have in the past, I might go the Surefire route, but for the price point that you get, I think this is definitely something to take a look at. I'm very, very impressed. So there you go. My review of the BaldR Pro by OLight, coming out probably at the same time as a whole bunch of other channels, but hopefully my content is a little bit different than theirs. And this is an honest to God review. That is just my honest opinions, And you guys know that I've reviewed other stuff that I get for free and I tell you the terms. And that is it. So let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Do you guys like OLight? I know there's a lot of OLight fans out there. So as always, thanks for watching.